Imagine getting sick every single week and not knowing why. Not from random food, not from a virus, not from stress alone, but from one specific dinner, one specific house, one specific person's cooking. At first, Lily tried to tell herself it was nothing. Maybe a stomach bug, maybe nerves, maybe something minor her body would shake off with a little rest. But after it happened once, then twice, then again and again, she could no longer ignore what felt increasingly impossible. Every week, she and her husband Eric went to his parents' house for dinner. And every week after eating food prepared by his mother, Margaret, Lily got sick. Not just a little off, not mildly uncomfortable. She was hit with waves of nausea so intense they left her weak and trembling. Sometimes the sickness came fast, within an hour of eating. Sometimes it came with crushing fatigue, like her body had been drained from the inside out. And on the worst nights, it felt like someone had reached into her stomach and twisted something sharp and burning deep inside her. The strange part was that no one else got sick. Not Eric, not Margaret, not Eric's father, Tom, just Lily. And when something only happens to one person, over and over again, it stops feeling like coincidence. It starts feeling personal. Lily didn't want to believe that at first. She really didn't. Because even though her relationship with Margaret had never been warm, Lily had tried. She invited her shopping, asked her out for little bonding moments, made conversation, showed up every week even when she didn't feel welcome. Margaret wasn't openly cruel, but she had a way of making Lily feel like an outsider in her own marriage. When the family sat together, Margaret's attention always seemed to drift back to Eric. His day, his work, his life. Lily was there but never fully included. Still, Lily kept trying, because that's what people do when they want peace. And because she loved Eric. At first, Eric had sympathy for what she was going through. The first time she got sick, he thought it was bad luck. The second time, he started asking if maybe she had a sensitive stomach. But as the weeks went on, his patience changed. He became irritated, then dismissive, then defensive. The idea that his mother could have anything to do with Lily's sickness seemed ridiculous to him. In fact, the more Lily tried to explain the pattern, the more Eric started acting like she was exaggerating. Or worse, inventing a problem because she secretly disliked his mother. That hurt more than he realized. Because Lily wasn't just dealing with pain anymore. She was dealing with being doubted. There is something especially lonely about suffering when the person closest to you keeps acting like it isn't real. Each dinner became a nightmare long before they even arrived. She would dread the drive there, dread the fake smile at the door, dread the smell of food she knew might make her violently ill. And then, after dinner, she would dread the long ride home while her body slowly turned against her again. It was ruining everything. Her energy, her peace of mind, her marriage. And eventually Lily reached a point where she knew something had to change. Because if she kept going like this, she wasn't going to lose just her health. She was going to lose herself, so she made a decision. The next Tuesday dinner would be different. This time she would figure it out. She didn't have some master plan. At first the idea seemed simple enough. Get into the kitchen, stay near Margaret, watch exactly what she puts into the meal. If there was something strange happening, it had to be happening there. The thought gave Lily a small spark of control, something she hadn't felt in weeks. But the moment she arrived at the house, she knew this would not be easy. Margaret greeted Eric with warmth and delight, lighting up the moment she saw him. Lily, on the other hand, got the usual polite smile. The kind that looked friendly from a distance but felt cold up close. Tom, as always, was kind. His quiet warmth was almost enough to calm Lily's nerves. Almost. Pre-dinner snacks were set out. Packaged cheese, nuts, safe foods that had never made her sick before. Lily barely touched anything. She waited for the right moment. Then Margaret went into the kitchen. Lily excused herself from the table, pretended to head toward the bathroom, then turned and slipped into the kitchen instead. Margaret looked startled the second she saw her. "Lily!" Lily forced a smile. "I just wanted to see if you needed any help." For a brief second, something flickered across Margaret's face. Not gratitude, not surprise, unease. Then came the quick refusal. No, she had everything covered. Lily should go sit with Eric and Tom. No need to help. Everything was under control. Lily tried once more, lightly, casually. But Margaret's answer didn't soften. If anything, her discomfort became more obvious. That was all Lily needed to know. Something about the kitchen mattered. But she couldn't push harder without making Margaret suspicious. So she backed off. She returned to the table, and the rest of the evening played out exactly as it always did. The meal, the forced conversation, the slow crawl of time, then the pain. But this time, it was worse than ever. By the end of the night, Lily could barely stand. The pain in her stomach was so sharp, so relentless, that getting up from the table felt like punishment. Every step toward the car sent another wave through her body. By the time she collapsed into the passenger seat, she was clutching her abdomen so tightly, her knuckles had gone white. It wasn't just nausea anymore. It was agony. The kind that steals your breath and narrows your world down to one thing: survive the next minute. The drive home felt endless. Lily curled into herself, silently crying, while Eric drove in frustrated silence, still not fully understanding that this was no longer just an upset stomach. That night changed something in her. It stripped away the last bit of caution she had left. If she wanted answers, she would have to get them herself. So the next chance she got, Lily did something she never imagined she would do. She went back to her in-laws' house alone. She knew Margaret and Tom had a routine. Every Tuesday morning they went to the farmer's market and stayed out for around 2 hours. Lily had heard them mention it enough times to memorize it. She also knew they would never tell her the truth if she confronted them directly. So she waited until they were gone, took the house key she had secretly borrowed from Eric's keychain, and let herself in. Her heart pounded the moment the door opened. This wasn't just sneaking around anymore. This was desperation. She headed straight to the kitchen and searched everything. The spice cabinet, the pantry, the refrigerator, the freezer, every drawer, every lower cabinet, even the appliances. Nothing. No mysterious powders, no suspicious bottles, no strange ingredients hidden behind cereal boxes or jars of preserves. The more she searched, the more her hope started slipping away. Had she been wrong? Had she imagined the whole thing out of fear? Still, she kept going. She searched the dining room, closets, cookbooks, any place where something small but important could be hidden. And just when she was about to give up, she noticed something strange overhead. A little doorknob hanging from the ceiling, a retractable staircase to the attic. The stairs looked used. That was odd enough on its own. But before Lily could even fully process it, she heard a car pulling into the driveway. Her blood went cold. They were back. Too early. There was no time to run to the back door. No time to hide downstairs. She grabbed the attic handle, yanked the stairs down, climbed up in panic, and pulled the hatch shut just as the front door opened below her. Now she was trapped, in the dark, in their attic, with her in-laws directly beneath her. She crouched in silence, listening to them chatting cheerfully about the market while her pulse hammered in her ears. Every creak of the floor felt dangerous. Even breathing felt too loud. When she finally dared to use the flashlight on her phone, what she saw surprised her. The attic was almost empty. No old boxes, no holiday decorations, no storage bins. Just a desk, a chair, and a single hanging light bulb. It didn't feel like a normal attic. It felt like a place meant for one purpose. Lily moved carefully, trying not to make the wood creak beneath her. She searched for a way out, even finding a small window she thought she might be able to squeeze through if it came to that. But then her attention returned to the desk. There, sitting plainly in the center, was a notebook. On the cover were written the words, "Margaret's Special Family Recipes." Lily opened it. At first, it looked ordinary enough. Handwritten dishes, ingredients, little notes passed down through generations. Then she found the entry that changed everything. It wasn't just a recipe. It was an instruction, a fertility mixture, a family remedy, something meant to be taken weekly to help start a family. And there it was. Turmeric. A lot of it. Lily stared at the page in shock. Her mind raced backward through years of conversations, all the times she had made it clear, very clear, that she did not want children. She had told Eric before things became serious, told him again before they got married. He knew exactly where she stood, and yet here was proof that something had been happening behind her back. Not randomly, not accidentally, intentionally. She waited until later that night when the television downstairs grew loud enough to cover her escape. Step by careful step, she made her way down, slipped out the front door, ran to her car, and didn't breathe properly again until she was driving home. But the nightmare wasn't over. When she got inside, Eric was already there, and he was angry. Not worried, angry. He demanded to know where she had been, then admitted something that made her stop cold. He had been tracking her location on his phone without her knowledge. He had added her to Find My Friends while she slept. The betrayal hit hard. But Lily didn't even have space to react to that yet. She took the notebook and placed it in front of him. At first, Eric didn't look confused. He looked stunned, like he recognized it. And in that moment, Lily understood the truth before he even spoke it. He knew. He had known. When she confronted him, the words came out in pieces, weak and desperate. He claimed it wasn't what it looked like. claimed they were doing it for us, claimed it had worked in his family before. His mother, his grandmother, generations of women who had used the same recipe. Then Lily read the ingredients out loud. And when she reached turmeric, she looked up at him and said the sentence that shattered everything left between them. "You don't know I'm allergic to turmeric?" Silence. He genuinely hadn't known. But that didn't save him, because ignorance didn't erase what he had done. He had let his mother secretly dose Lily with something meant to influence her body without her consent. All because he wanted children she had repeatedly said she never wanted. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It wasn't love. It was a violation. Lily threw him out that night, and the next morning, she filed for divorce, not because of one bad dinner, not because of one argument, but because the two people who should have respected her choices most had instead gone behind her back, made her sick for weeks, and then made her feel crazy for noticing it. That kind of betrayal changes everything. In the years that followed, Lily had to rebuild more than just her routine. She had to rebuild trust, slowly, painfully, with the help of therapy. She stayed single for a long time. She moved,